All right, 5 builds. I already fucked up.
Loser! You're a loser!
Yo, what is going on at YouTube? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Today's video, we're going to be talking about best builds to be abusing to win games, or just to have a really good time because your build is so strong in Smite currently. Now, if you look at the builds, some of them haven't changed too much. Some of them has changed a little bit. The Mage build specifically is in a weird spot, and I wouldn't be surprised if it gets addressed in 11.3 and changes completely. But currently, this is how it stands. With the buff to Titan's Bane giving it 5 more power and the cooldown is 1 second less on the passive, you now have this adequate way to poke, and it's just a very strong feel-good item now. With Boomba, Spear, Jotuns, Trans Titans, Crusher, Bloodforge, it all kind of combos together into a really strong 1v1 character who also has a lot of burst damage into the late game. Boomba's Jotuns put you at 30% cooldown. I like to use the blue augment through most of the game when I go this build because this is really the only cooldown item you are getting. Trans makes up for the lower power in some jungle builds, or in most jungle builds, and it becomes a very high power item. Titan's giving an extra 5 power is very nice. Crusher scaling off power, so the power from Boombas, which is 50, the power from Trans, I don't even know how much this comes out to. Trans comes out to being around 60, 70 power, somewhere around there. So you're actually getting a high amount of damage, and then Bloodforge, Jotun's Vigor gives you a little bit of sustain, and then also that shield when you do get that kill. This build has been feeling really good in jungle. For solo lane, no surprise, we're going to be doing the Axe of Animosity and Kin Size build. This is just such an incredible combo of items together. Phalanx and Berserkers. I think Berserkers is a little underrated in the fact that it's a very strong complementary item to Phalanx, because you get 50 protections, 200 health, 50 protections, 150 health, and you're getting attack speed from both of these when you're diving in the late game. Now, the only thing that I would switch up with this build is maybe you don't need the Shoguns. Maybe you can go a different magical defense item, something like Onis, Pesty, something to just be a little bit more magically tanky if they have a lot of magical damage. I just think Shoguns is just the simplest way to show what this build is meant to do. You're meant to auto attack and shred people down. You have a lot of tankiness from Axe giving 30 protections of each and 300 health. Phalanx, Berserker, some physical protections, Shogun, some magical protections, and then on top of it, Mantle, giving you both physical, magical, and also that stun and CC immunity. The point of Axe and Kin Size together is Axe is really good against squishies because 2.5% of your max health. If you're at 3,000 health, you'll be doing an extra 75 damage in auto. The Kin Size is better against the tanks because this is really only happening for 20, 30 damage against squishies. But if it's against a tank, some 3,000 health bar character, and you're getting 6% instead of just 2.5% of your own, you are shredding tanks. So that's why you're kind of building them together. Axe of Animosity is just really good at shredding squishies, and then Kins is a lot better at shredding tanks. And keep in mind, Bellona scales into the late game fine with this build, but she is very strong in that early portion. It's just, she is just strong at every point now. Guardian, no surprise, we're going Sobek, and we're going the Mystical Mail build. Spartan Flag, Prophetic, Mystical Mail. As the first 3 items, you're getting a little bit of cooldown, a little bit of protections. You're a tiny bit low on protections. Prophetic is 25, and then you have to get stacks to actually get a little tankier. And Mystical Mail is only 40 prots. But once you get this Pesty online, once you get to this Glorious Predwin, the Glad Shield, and then you also get the Spartan Flag tankiness, you will be unkillable late game, and you'll actually have threatening damage with Mystical Mail, Glad Shield, and Glorious Predwin. I'd recommend going Fire Blink for a little bit more damage, and then also Horrific, because that is still the best anything in the game. The nerfs to it did literally nothing. It is still OP, broken, buy it every game. The Mage build, as I said, it's funky looking right now, and it looks gross, and it looks disgusting, and it looks like he'll do no damage, but this is, and I say this, and I can't stress this enough, this is the highest damage you can get in Mage builds for like the spammers. If you're playing Raw, if you're playing Cuckoo, this is obviously not going to be the best build, but for like Merlin, for Tiamat, for Agni, this is the most damage you can get in builds. Gem of Focus actually ramps up your Tablet of Destiny's damage and also your Soul Reaver's damage. Book of Thoth, very good high power, some flat pen. Tablet of Destiny's is basically your tank shred. The Reaver is a little bit of tank shred, but it's not going to be actual like threatening damage because it's not 40% pen on it, or even 20% pen. And that's the awkward part about this build. You feel like you're not going to do any damage because you have no pen, but Tablet of Destiny is doing true damage, Reaver doing percent health damage. They kind of slowly chip away, and with how low cooldown Tablet is and how just consistent Soul Reaver is, I don't even say slowly but surely, late game you shred tanks, It's just that early mid-game portion you don't really shred because you need tablet stacks. Breastplate and Chronos Pendant together to just get as much cooldown as possible to spam abilities, get tablet and Destiny stacks. And the low-key thing about this build that's really cool is if you pick up green buff, you'll get a little bit more mana, a little bit more health, so you'll get a little bit more survivability. But tablet is based on your mana, so you get a little bit more tablet damage. And then all throughout this, Gem of Focus is also going to be giving you more movement speed for survivability. So together, this is the Benny Q build. I don't want to say it's my build. I did not come up with this. This is Benny Q's build, and it's insanely good. Lastly, talking about the Hunter builds, the Claw build that I really like is still very strong, which is Leader's Cowl, Crimson Claw, Demon Blade. I think that's what it's called. Demon Blade, Xe, Deathbringer Dom. That build is still very good. I just think with the nerfs to Demon Blade and the nerfs to Deathbringer, the upgraded one, it felt a little bit worse. So I just wanted to put this one out there also. Leader's Cowl, Crimson Claw combo is still insane. Cowl gives you extra health, gives you a little bit of lifesteal. Claw gives you a little bit of lifesteal, and then it gives you percent health shield. So they combo really well together. It also is a double attack speed item early, allowing you to go into a more power-oriented item in the Rage. And something that's really cool to me is your first two items, 50 power here. This one comes out being 45, and then once you finish your start, it's 50 power. Like, there is actually a lot of power in this build. So you're at 242 power, and then on top of that, you also get Leader's Cowl passive. So you'll be getting up to, like, 300 power pretty easily with this build, especially when you get your 500 pot. Overall, this build feels very good also. You're just kind of reliant on getting Rage stacks. You're also not fully committing to the crit build, so if they go Spectral, it's not going to feel terrible. You have the Kins for Shred, you have Dom. Overall, this build feels great. But there it is. Those are 5 builds to be abusing on patch 11.2. Go out there, win some MMR. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys again next time. Peace.